Okay, so we're with manager Brad Cooke following the 1-0 home victory against FC United. Brad, 6 points against FC over the course of the season. Now, when we came into this league, it would have been very, very difficult to envisage that.
It does, and it shows how far we've come. As a club, really, as a collective. FC United are a fantastic football club, no doubt about it. You only need to look at the infrastructure there and the calibre of play that they've got as well, because we've got some really good lads. And for us to beat them twice over the course of the season, I'm proud as punch. It's another derby that we've won as well. And yeah, it's when you start your journey and your management journey, and you look at games, probably the first game of the season you look for is FC United. So it's a big game. Everyone knows that. And I thought that, today, although weren't pretty at times, it's a huge 3 points.
Over the course of the 90, you might not have said it was particularly pretty, but what was pretty was Jay Fitzmartin's free kick in the first half. That was some finish from a lad whose confidence is growing game in, game out.
Brilliant. No, when you speak about Jay Fitzmartin, I don't know how many interviews I've done this year where I've given him praise, and I just continue to give him praise. He is an incredible footballer, and he's playing on really difficult surfaces as well, which at the beginning of the season he wouldn't have been able to cope with, and didn't cope with, by the way. But today he just shows his flashes of quality. I mean, what I would say is, and I'm his biggest critic as well at times, I said to him at half time, you should now be going on, you should be looking at smelling it and getting 2-3 goals, because he's good enough to do that, and he's getting in areas. And that's probably my only criticism of him second half. He could have wrapped it up a couple of times. But listen, the finish is him to a T, and he's done that a lot this season. So yeah, fair play to him. He deserves to be the match winner.
And you mentioned the conditions. Obviously, the rain started within sort of the first 5 minutes of the game, and it made it a difficult game to play on what became an incredibly slippy surface, didn't it?
It was really tough, and you know what? I will credit Renault and Renault's team. I thought that when they went down to 10 men, they really showed a lot of fight, and that was evident from the sideline. The lads really dug in. And I thought the changes that they made, certainly Charlie Ennis, who I played with, who's a great lad, I thought his introduction changed the shape of the game. I thought he started to cause us some real problems, and yeah, it was difficult service. Fair play to both teams. I don't think the surface has helped us there in the last 10-15 minutes either, with the amount of 3-on-1s, 2-on-1s, 1v1s that we've had there. But listen, they've ground it out. We've got 3 points, a clean sheet, and that's all that matters.
And then, integral to that was today's man of the match, chosen by our sponsor, Joe Kinney. She's chosen Daniel Lafferty, and I think there wouldn't be a single supporter that kind of disagrees with that decision.
Outstanding today. As a leader, when you're looking in the dressing room before the game, and the lads were tuned in. I can feel it with our group. I know when they're tuned in. I know when the warm-up's good. I know when they're on it. And that comes from your leaders. That comes from your Danny Laughs, and he's shown that performance today. Listen, I used to lick my lips when I used to play in a pitch like that. Danny Laughs exactly the same. He knows that you have to dig to the well when you're playing on surfaces like that. He's done that. He's led by example. Kept a clean sheet, which he deserved, and yeah, he'll be more happier with the 3 points.
As always, we always look ahead, never get carried away. It's actually United next, another derby of sorts. So what are your thoughts heading into that game?
Well, we've got ourselves into a really good position. I said to the boys before the game, if we beat FC United today, we go 3 points behind them. We're in that little pack now, that was above us from 10th to 14th or whatever it is. We're back in there now. That's where we believed that we could be beginning of the season. And now it's down to the lads now. We've got ourselves into a great position. It's a great opportunity. We go to Ashton, who will be a good, strong side, but we go there now above them, which is great. And like I say, if we put performances or we put committed performances like we did do today, a little bit more quality as well, then I'm sure that we'll come away with a good result.
Brilliant. Cheers, Brad.
Cheers, mate.